two reality stars just pulled off the most calculated power move in Love Island history, and nobody saw it coming. While everyone expected them to walk the VMAs red carpet together like every other couple, Nic and Olandria did something that made the entire entertainment industry stop and take notes. They separated, dominated two different lanes, and somehow managed to trend harder than the actual award winners. This wasn't just a red carpet appearance. This was a masterclass in strategic celebrity building that's about to change how we see reality TV stars forever. But before we dive into how they absolutely demolished expectations, hit that subscribe button if you want to see your name in lights, because I'm doing a subscriber shout-out wall next week, and trust me, you don't want to miss being part of the chaos. The night started with what looked like a mistake, but turned out to be the smartest PR move of 2025. When fans realized Nic and Olandria weren't walking together, the confusion was immediate. Comments flooded in asking where the other half was, why they were separated, if something had gone wrong behind the scenes. But here's where it gets brilliant. Their management team wasn't making an error, they were playing chess, while everyone else was still learning checkers. Think about every Love Island couple that's tried to make it in the real world. They show up together, get photographed together, give joint interviews, and then what happens? They become defined as a unit instead of individual stars. Their brands merge, their opportunities get limited to couple content, and eventually, when the relationship spotlight dims, so do their careers. Nic and Alandria's team saw that pattern and said, absolutely not. The strategy was simple but genius. Send Alandria down the fashion and entertainment track. Position Nic in the sports and media lane, let them dominate their respective spaces, and watch as their combined power actually multiplies instead of divides. While she was being compared to Hollywood's elite fashion moments, he was building credibility as a legitimate sports presenter. Two different audiences, two different revenue streams, one unstoppable brand expansion. And the results? They didn't just trend as a couple. They trended individually and together, creating triple the exposure that any traditional red carpet walk would have generated. Fashion Twitter was obsessing over Alandria's red dress moment. Sports blogs were highlighting Nic's CBS presenter role. And Love Island fans were connecting the dots and losing their minds over the strategic brilliance of it all.
But let's talk about the moment that actually stopped the internet. Alandria stepped onto that red carpet wearing a look that immediately shifted every conversation happening that night. This wasn't just another pretty dress moment. This was a full cultural reset. The red corset with sheer overlay wasn't just fashion. It was a statement that said she belongs in rooms with the biggest names in entertainment. Fashion critics immediately started making comparisons that would have seemed impossible just months ago. People were putting her looks side by side with established A-listers and realizing she wasn't just holding her own, she was outshining them. The styling was impeccable, the confidence was undeniable, and the representation factor was something that resonated far beyond typical red carpet coverage. For so many viewers, seeing a dark-skinned black woman from reality TV step onto one of the biggest entertainment stages and immediately become part of the best-dressed conversation was more than just a good look. It was validation, inspiration, and proof that the barriers between reality TV and mainstream Hollywood are crumbling faster than anyone expected. The internet's reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Fashion blogs that rarely cover Love Island stars were suddenly featuring her as a must-see moment. Style influencers were breaking down every element of the look. Even people who had never watched the show were asking who she was and where she came from. In one red carpet walk, Olandria went from reality TV contestant to legitimate fashion moment, and the industry took notice. Meanwhile, Nic was executing his own phase of the strategy with the kind of precision that showed this wasn't accidental. While Alandria was conquering the fashion space, he was building his credibility in sports media, working as a CBS presenter and proving he could handle mainstream broadcasting opportunities. But here's what made fans fall even harder for him. He never stopped being her biggest supporter. Every interview he gave included subtle references to her success. When asked about missing Fiji, he redirected to talk about the moments they shared. When pressed about their relationship, he made it clear his loyalty and pride in her accomplishments was unshakable. He managed to build his individual brand while simultaneously amplifying hers, showing a level of strategic thinking and genuine support that made their connection feel even stronger. The balance was perfect. She got to shine as an individual star without being reduced to just someone's girlfriend. He got to establish his professional credibility without abandoning the relationship that fans loved. And together, they created a narrative that was bigger than the sum of its parts.
Fans noticed everything. Comments were flooded with appreciation for how he handled questions about their relationship, how he managed to support her success while building his own platform, and how the entire approach felt authentic rather than calculated. Even though it was clearly a strategic move, it never felt fake or forced because the genuine connection between them was undeniable. Okay, quick pause because I need you to do something for me. If this breakdown is making you see their VMA strategy in a completely different light, show me by hitting that subscribe button right now. I'm tracking how many of you are actually following along with these deeper dives, and subscribers get early access to all my behind-the-scenes industry analysis. Plus, you'll be first to know when I drop the next explosive reality TV story that everyone's going to be talking about.
By this point, social media was in complete meltdown mode, but not the chaotic kind, the celebratory kind. Day one fans who had supported Olandria from her first villa appearance were having full vindication moments. These were the people who saw her potential before it was obvious, who defended her through every challenge and criticism, and who were now watching her step into spaces they had always believed she belonged in. The fan reactions became a story unto themselves. Viral posts were popping up with captions like, "I have never once regretted being a day one Olandria supporter," and "This is what I saw in her from the beginning." Fan accounts were pulling up old predictions and screenshots showing they had called this level of success months ago. The vindication was complete, and the celebration was infectious. But it wasn't just individual fans going viral. The collective reaction created its own trending moment, as people shared their journey from villa viewers to red carpet witnesses. Fan communities that had formed around supporting her were now celebrating what felt like a personal victory. The parasocial relationship that reality TV creates was transformed into something that felt like genuine pride and accomplishment. The trending topics told the whole story. Alandria's name was trending independently, Nic's presenter work was getting recognition in sports media circles, and Nicolandria as a couple concept was dominating entertainment discussions. They had managed to create multiple viral moments simultaneously, something that rarely happens, even for established celebrities. What made it even more impactful was how organic the reactions felt. These weren't manufactured moments or paid promotional pushes. The excitement was genuine, the pride was real, and the support was authentic. When fans saw her succeeding at this level, it felt like watching someone they genuinely cared about achieve something they deserved. Now, here's where the story gets even more interesting because there were strategic moves happening behind the scenes that most people didn't know about. Alandria had recently signed with Digital Brand Architects, a UTA-owned management company that specializes in developing comprehensive career strategies for emerging talent. This wasn't just about getting red carpet invitations. This was about building a sustainable entertainment career. The 360-degree approach her team was implementing became obvious when you looked at the VMAs' appearance in context. This wasn't a one-off reality TV stunt. It was a carefully planned step in a larger career trajectory that includes lifestyle brand partnerships, entertainment industry positioning, and mainstream media opportunities. The red carpet wasn't the goal. It was just one milestone in a much bigger plan. Industry insiders were already talking about how her team was approaching her career development differently than typical reality stars. Instead of trying to extend her 15 minutes of fame, they were treating her like a legitimate entertainment industry prospect with long-term potential. The VMA's appearance was proof of concept that she could handle major industry events with the professionalism and presence that mainstream opportunities require. The strategic thinking became even clearer when you considered the timing. Love Island typically sees its stars peak during and immediately after the show, then gradually fade unless they find other opportunities. By positioning her at the VMAs while the Love Island buzz was still strong, her team created a bridge between reality TV fame and legitimate entertainment industry recognition. For Nic, the strategy was equally sophisticated. His work as a CBS presenter wasn't just a job, it was career positioning that established him in sports media independent of his reality TV background. The VMA's appearance let him show he could handle high-profile entertainment industry events while maintaining his sports media credibility. But just when you thought the night was all about Nicolandria's strategic success, Ace Green showed up and created an entirely different kind of conversation. His solo appearance sparked immediate debate among fans about everything from his outfit choices to his reasons for being there in the first place.
Some fans appreciated that he showed up despite all the drama and speculation that had surrounded him since the show ended. There was something to be said for facing the spotlight alone, knowing that every detail of his appearance would be analyzed and critiqued. In a way, showing up was its own kind of statement about resilience and determination to stay relevant. But others felt his presence highlighted the difference between strategic career building and just trying to maintain attention. Where Nicolandria's appearances felt purposeful and professionally managed, Ace's seemed more reactive and less focused. The contrast made their success look even more impressive because it showed how much thought and planning had gone into their approach. The fashion critics were particularly unforgiving about his red carpet look, feeling it was too casual for an event of this magnitude. While Alandria was being praised for understanding the assignment and delivering a memorable fashion moment, Ace was criticized for missing the mark on what the VMA's red carpet requires.
Still, his presence added an interesting subplot to the evening because it reminded everyone that the Love Island Season 7 cast was making moves beyond the villa, even if not everyone was executing at the same level. It also created natural comparison points that made Nicolandria's success feel even more significant. The real story here isn't just about one successful red carpet appearance. It's about how Nic and Olandria are fundamentally changing what it means to transition from reality TV to mainstream entertainment. They're not following the traditional playbook of trying to extend their reality show fame as long as possible. They're treating their Love Island experience as a launching pad for legitimate entertainment industry careers. This approach is revolutionary because it acknowledges that reality TV success and mainstream entertainment success require different strategies, different skills, and different positioning. Instead of trying to make their Love Island personas work in Hollywood, they're developing new professional identities that can succeed in broader entertainment contexts.
The VMA's appearance proved they understand how to operate in mainstream industry spaces. They handled the interviews professionally, delivered the fashion moments the event required, and generated the kind of positive media coverage that opens doors for future opportunities. This wasn't just about looking good at one event, it was about proving they belong in these spaces permanently. For future Love Island contestants and other reality stars, Nicolandria just created a new roadmap for career development. The message is clear. Don't just try to extend your reality TV moment, use it to build something bigger and more sustainable. The villa can be the beginning of your story, not the whole story. The ripple effects are already starting. Industry professionals are paying attention to how successfully they transitioned, talent managers are studying their strategy, and other reality stars are probably reconsidering their own career approaches. When two people from a dating show can show up to the VMAs and generate this level of positive industry attention, it changes what's possible for everyone who comes after them. So here's what I think really happened that night. Nicolandria didn't just attend the VMAs, they announced their arrival as legitimate entertainment industry players. The strategic separation, the individual brand building, the flawless execution of their respective roles, all of it was designed to send a clear message that they're not just reality TV stars trying to extend their fame, they're entertainment professionals building sustainable careers. The red carpet was just the stage, but the real performance was showing the industry and their fans that they understand how to operate at this level. They proved they can handle high-profile events, generate positive media coverage, support each other's individual success, and create viral moments that extend far beyond their original fan base. This wasn't just a good night for them personally, it was a watershed moment for how we think about reality TV stars transitioning to mainstream entertainment. They've shown it's possible to use reality TV as a launching pad rather than a peak, and they've done it in a way that feels authentic to who they are while meeting the professional standards the industry requires.
The question now isn't whether they can sustain this level of success, it's how far they're going to take it. The VMA has proved they can hang with A-listers, handle major industry events, and generate the kind of positive attention that creates opportunities. What they do with that foundation is going to determine whether this was just a great moment or the beginning of something much bigger. And honestly, based on everything we saw that night, I'm betting on much bigger. The strategic thinking, the professional execution, the authentic connection with their fan base, and the industry response all point to two people who are just getting started. The Love Island villa might have been where their story began, but the VMAs showed us it's definitely not where it ends. Before you go, I need to know what you think about all this. Was this the smartest PR move in reality TV history, or am I reading too much into what was just a good red carpet appearance? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I read every single one, and the most interesting takes might just end up in my next video. And if you made it this far, you're clearly invested in these deeper dives into reality TV strategy, so make sure you're subscribed because I've got some explosive content coming up that you definitely don't want to miss. Trust me, this Nicolandria story is just the beginning.